Christmas. What? Well, I figure I had to start it differently. I always say I want
It's
to.
like,
So,
is that like a Viking way of wishing people a Merry Christmas? It's just a
yes,
hammer to the head, right? Yeah.
or happy holiday. You can't say Christmas anymore. Uh, Anyways, welcome everybody to the first Christmas episode of Let's Do a Podcast. And as normal, I am Ryan, the elf. Yeah,
Oh, are we doing our Christmas characters this year?
I guess. I don't
And
know.
I am Anthony, a guy who wears an ugly Christmas sweater. I'm dressing the part. It is very hot
Mm,
and too hot for this. So I'm gonna start sweating at some point. So
we might be able to see Anthony do a striptease for us. So
yeah, the things I do for my art, right?
that's right. I went the comfy route and my Blockbuster t shirt. Right.
Yes.
We went to the last Blockbuster on Earth. I think that was last weekend or something like that. Uh, so of course I had to buy all the merch. But before we start talking about things, let's talk about beer because this podcast is about beer and movies. So let's start with. So I got a special beer from 10 Barrel Brewing Company, Blockbuster beer.
Ah. Does it
Is
taste like the smell of like stale popcorn and plastic cases?
it at least smells very sweet. Sinister black ale malt beverage with natural flavors, what it says. Let me pull up the untapped for it. I did have it, but went to sleep. So to be paired with buttery theater popcorn and your favorite movie sized chocolate, this beer has a light body, smooth finish with subtle hints of nostalgia and red licorice. Oh no. We're proud to share the home of the last standing Blockbuster. So it has a 3.8 uh, average. So I'm not expecting much. In general, just a Blockbuster beer. I'm like, I'm not gonna expect much, but it's a fun beer. But it's a 5.7% zero IBU. How is everything zero IBU now these days?
Yeah, I I get a feeling sometimes that
These days.
maybe where there's a bias in Untapped where it's like a bias towards like heavier beers. Maybe it's just like a service for beer snobs like us. I don't know.
Yeah. But
Maybe.
anyways, I as always, I pre-pour mine because if you've been around for a while, I used to open mine right on stream and or recording, and it'd always go everywhere. So I stopped doing that. It's
And
very
it's
dark.
streamed onto the desk.
Yeah. Very, very dark. So
Yeah, it's darker than I thought based on the description.
yeah, whenever I was pouring out, I was like, this is like it looks like a stout or almost a porter, but so Anthony, what are you drinking while I take a few sips?
All right, so I went to get our beer for our next episode. But while I was there, I found another Christmas themed beer, and what is arguably one of the best Christmas movies, in honor of one of the best Christmas movies, and that is this guy. And look at the can art on this. In celebration of the movie Die Hard 1,
Mm,
the beer is called Welcome to the Party, Pal. It's like I wish there was I wish there was a beer that was like, come out to the coast, we'll have a few laughs,
yeah.
but this is Welcome to the Party, Pal. It's the double IPA of Nakatomi Plaza. So this is from Martin. This is a collab between Martin House and Turning Point, and it is double IPA, New England Hazy, 8% ABV, ABVs, 22 IBU, and it is double hazy IPA, as I said, with Sabro and Motueka hops. So, welcome to the party, pal.
What was the APV?
And
The yeah ABV.
at 8% ABV.
Oh, that's a lot. That's
So
pretty low for a Turning Point and Martin House collab.
yeah, but it's just like for the can art alone, it's just like pretty awesome there. Just the guy John, what's the guy's name? John something. Man, it's gonna
Um,
bug me now. I'm ashamed.
I can't
I'm
believe.
so ashamed. Okay, okay, we gotta take some time to Google this.
Is it? It's
Uh,
not John Oliver,
no, that's
right? Who is that? Who's
John
John?
McClane. John
Yes.
McClane. Oh my God, I'm such a terrible movie fan. Oh my God, I'm so ashamed. I've lost so much cred just
Who's
now.
John?
But in let's just try to
Oh, John
let's just
Oliver's from the Tonight
yeah,
Show.
he's from last week tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna make the noise now and just make you forget. Okay.
I forgot what we
So the
just
smell
said.
is like smelling apricot.
Ooh.
It's pretty interesting. Which it wasn't on there. The so the profile on Untapped is juicy, hazy, hoppy, orange, and sweet. So we'll get the pour going here.
Yeah, sounds about right for
Live wire act. Oh, pouring and you can't see.
oh, I can't wait for a Turning Point beer.
Look at the haziness on that. Oh
Yeah.
man.
It's just straight orange juice.
I actually had a beer called Ectogasm from a brewery up in North Dakota recently, and it was supposed to be hazy, and it was hazy until it wasn't. It was like it was sedimenty,
mm,
like hazy in that way. So
yeah, so this last Saturday, we went up to a brewery called Vice, which is kind of
uh,
it felt a lot like how it feels looking at like your parents' house back whenever you were a kid. Like that's how
uh,
they dressed up the place. Like I'll have to share pictures on our Facebook, but they actually have a living room with a VCR with a bunch of VCR tapes, so you can just sit there, drink beer, and watch movies. So we put a movie on, but
sounds relaxing actually.
it was really great. And
Yeah.
like I could have sat there for a long time. Plus, your dog's allowed to go in, so like we were just sitting there on the couch drinking beer with our dog and watching VCR movies. Like, but anyways, I got one of their hazy beers, and it was not hazy. It didn't look very hazy at all. So I was like, okay, but maybe they gave
Uh-huh.
me the wrong beer. Was the kind of feel, you know? Considering like my wife, she got I can't remember, it was some sort of like sour, and that looked like a hazy beer. So I had to try it. I'm like, okay, I get
Yeah.
the wrong beer, but it definitely tasted like it. But it was the weirdest thing ever. Like it was so clear for a hazy, but it
It's,
definitely
it's
was the taste of a hazy.
It's weird how some batches of beer come out like they're supposed to be hazy and they come out not hazy. And I feel so bad, like saying that's not the right beer when it turns out it's the right beer. And it was just the brew. I
Yeah.
did that once at a restaurant where I got Half Life from
Mm,
Manhattan Brewing. Did I tell you this story?
no, I don't think
So
so.
I got it was at a restaurant up in Roanoke, I think. And I was like, it's like, I got it. And I was like, it was clear. And it's usually meant that Half Life has some haze to it, or at least I think so, from what I remember. Uh, so I get it. It's like crystal clear. It looks like a Bud Light. I taste it. It doesn't taste like Half Life. I was like, this can't be it. So I have them pull it again, and they pull the right handle. I watch because I'm watching them, and then they bring the beer back, still clear, still to me does not taste like it, and I just kind of like accept it at that point. Maybe I'm like, maybe they hooked up the wrong thing. Turns out, later I'm like, I'm just gonna get a pack of Half Life and see if I'm crazy. And so, first of all, Half Life's not like a New England hazy IPA; it's like an Imperial IPA.
Yeah.
So I'm somewhat incorrect in my assertions to these people at the restaurant, but I get it. And it felt like such a jerk because it came out of the can pretty clear and it tasted the same as what I've been getting. And I was just harassing these people because I thought the beer was incorrect. And yeah, I just felt like a big jerk after that. I have not been back to that restaurant. So
I kind of did the same thing whenever we were flying down to my family's vacation in September. We had a pretty long layover in DFW, so we went to get some food and drinks. I was like, oh, they have Tupps juice pack. I was
oh
like,
yeah.
and I was like, it's been a good while since I've had a Tupps, so I got it and I was drinking. I was like, this isn't Tupps. Like this doesn't look like whenever he sat it down, I was like, it doesn't look right. It tasted a little bit different. Um, so I asked because I was just like, either way, I was gonna drink it. I was just curious of like what they actually gave me. I was like, hey, so I just want to double check. Is this the juice pack? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I went back there and poured it myself. I was like, oh, okay. So it's just kind of one of those things of like every once in a while you just get a weird batch.
Well, it makes me think of like when Tupps used to do the double dry hop series, and every time they did the series, it was different.
Yeah.
So maybe they're doing that secretly with the juice pack.
Yeah. So I'm kind of interested because I'll probably end up getting one whenever I come back down because I love Tupps. Tupps is amazing beer. So if it's anywhere, I'm like, I'll get that and see if it's any different because it might just be because I haven't had it in quite a long time. So it might just be different from what I remember, but
Yeah.
still good beer. I think I still got it whenever we got down to the coast and I got 1 6-pack. I was like, just get me a juice pack still. Like,
Yeah.
but anyways, so yes, so we're doing this episode, then we're gonna do one more that'll actually be together. I'm very excited for it. Anthony already has our beer. We still got to pick up the
do.
movie, which saw a few that are for streaming. So I'll post once we pick something out of when we'll be going live to record and post it and all that kind of
I'm like tempted to
shenanigans.
make us suffer through Santa Claus versus the Martians.
We could do
We
it.
saw it in that Thanksgiving movie.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
We could do it. So excited about that. So I guess let's get on to the events and show/movies. I'll go first since I think last time you went first. So I try to switch it up. On Thanksgiving, me and the wife decided to watch Good Burger 2.
Oh, how was that? I haven't watched it yet.
It was so dumb, but so fun. Like,
you got to go back. Did you go back and watch the first one so you remember what
No.
happened going into the second one?
How can you forget what happened in the first one though? Like I watched the
Yeah, it's
first
like,
one
Welcome
so
to
many
Good
times.
Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Yeah, I mean, we were both actually laughing because we were just like, it's just so dumb and silly that it was. I would actually watch it again, surprisingly.
Yeah.
It didn't. The ratings for it, it's like 5.4 out of 10. I mean, it's not like a big hit movie, but if you grew up watching the first one a ton
Yeah.
like I did, you'll love it. And I'm definitely gonna watch it again.
Well, it's like because the whole concept comes out of like the kids' version of Saturday Night Live, so it's like a Saturday Night Live movie, but like based coming out of I think it came from the show All That on Nickelodeon back when Keenan and Kel were like teenagers, and now because there are around, well, they're like my age, so like they're like in their
don't group me in with you
40s.
yet.
They're like in their 40s, so yeah, because they're older than me too, I think. So like, but like Keenan's like, not Keenan, Keenan. He's like head writer for like Saturday Night Live now, so like he made it to the big time. Kel is, I think he's still on Nickelodeon, does like game shows and stuff like that. So they're still like in it, in like the comedies area there. So it's like, but it's really cool. The idea of them working together again after all these years is really cool. So it's when I heard they announced it, I was worried about this movie because they announced the movie was going to happen right before COVID started on Jimmy Fallon. Because they got together, and they announced they were going to do it, and then COVID happened. And I was like, that's it. That movie's not going to happen. So when they announced that the movie was coming out on Paramount Plus, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta watch it. And then I forgot because I never look at anything on Paramount Plus. So
yeah, I do highly recommend it. And yeah, I looked up a bunch of stuff afterwards because that's one thing that I just do. And yeah, they had sounds like everybody had such a great time filming it, and I feel like you can feel that in the movie too. So I don't know. I loved it. I will probably. I am willing to bet money since I'm spending time with my family that we'll end up watching it again, and I'm fine with that. So actually, before we go on to the next one, I totally forgot. How was our beer after the first few tastes? I'm just jumping ahead. So with mine,
it's good.
yeah, it's it's really, really good. I'm actually really impressed. Again, coming in with very low expectations.
Uh,
Um, it's not heavy. It's just a very dark ale, but yeah, it's delicious so far.
yeah, tastes like a Friday evening trying to pick a movie with your parents.
Mm-hmm. Eating too much popcorn.
Yep.
Um, so the next movie, this one, I know we talked about it last time, but it wasn't in theaters yet. Or it was, but there wasn't much out. But Thanksgiving, the movie,
Yes.
we finally got some more ratings have changed a little bit and everything about it. So it has a 6.9 out of 10, which I feel like for a Thanksgiving horror movie, that's not bad.
No, it's not. It's not. It
uh,
was never gonna win an Oscar. So
yeah, it's gotten pretty good feedback. So I'm excited that we're gonna be watching that next year.
yeah,
I've seen the trailer a few times. And yeah, I mean, I really haven't. It seems like everybody's just kind of like going with low expectations, and you'll have a good time. You
yeah.
know. So
Name of the game.
yeah.
Name of the game.
But Thanksgiving's over, so let's get rid of that real quick. So on Apple TV, Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Have you seen this?
I saw it's out. I've heard it's good. I have not watched it because I'm busy watching season 4 of For All Mankind. So
Mm,
I haven't gotten to that yet.
I actually just watched the trailer for this before we went live. Usually I've started getting better about actually like before I talk about the movies and shows, I actually watch the trailers if I don't know anything about it. Uh Man, I really want Apple TV. I might end up getting that after the holiday season because
There's
there's
a lot.
so much on there. And
There's so much good stuff
yeah,
on Apple TV. You ask me, I will tell you all the shows you need to watch on Apple TV. There's
yeah,
comedies, sci-fi, awesomeness, all the dramas, everything. So good. So
yeah.
much good stuff.
We had it for a good while. And then just we had so many streaming services. We're like cutting some here and there that we don't watch, and we cut out a bunch. And so we're like, okay, when we get back, then we'll get some more. So I might add the Apple
Yeah.
TV back into it. Um, so if you don't know, I mean, it's the Legacy of Monsters. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'd
Yeah.
suggest go watch the trailer for it if you have Apple TV. Watch the trailer, and if you love Godzilla monster type stuff, this will be perfect for you. So
Yeah, particularly this is a continuation of the U.S. version of the most recent Godzilla movie. So I think it follows Monarch from the Godzilla movie with Aaron Taylor Johnson, the King Kong movie that had John Goodman and Tom Hiddleston, and I think John Goodman's in this show actually. Then you had Godzilla versus Kong, which came out I think a year or two ago, and now this show and the trailer just dropped for Godzilla X
well, that's the
Kong,
next one that I was
yeah,
going to talk
yeah.
about. Um,
Which I just saw the trailer for that today.
yeah, I literally you jumped into our meeting here while I was finishing it up. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, I have to finish this. Man, I am so excited. Um, it looks so much fun, and I know that I think we've only done one Godzilla movie so far on our podcast.
I think we did the first one, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
because I know it was with my mother,
Yeah,
so she's a huge Godzilla monster fan. So we might have to watch this all separately and do an episode together
yeah.
because it looks like this is gonna be a good one. So
Did you think, and when you saw the trailer, there's the bit where Kong reaches up through the hole that he ends up into like the center of the earth in the last movie. Did you think it was like a transformer reaching through the hole?
my first
Because I
feeling
did.
was, do you remember that movie we watched with the Nazis in the center of the earth? And there was a
Uh,
bunch of monsters and stuff like that. I kind of got that feeling for a second.
yeah,
I was like,
I'm sure
oh,
they're nearby. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, the Nazis are a little bit further away, but what a crazy ass movie.
yeah,
But yes, it, I was unsure where it was gonna go. And then it shows him with some weird thing on his arm where you're like, okay, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be ridiculous, and I'm excited about it.
Oh, yeah. I feel like so like because like there's these movies and then there's the Japanese ones that are still going on as well. They've been going on since like the 50s.
Yeah.
And so they're very much in that vein of the Godzilla minus one is another one I think that just came out. It's getting ready to leave theaters this week, I think, which is a bummer because I didn't realize it was out until I started kind of going down the Godzilla hole today. But
And it's a
that is
big
very much
hole.
in this. Yeah, it is. But it's like it's very much the Godzilla minus one is also I've heard is really good, getting high reviews. But it's very much in the spirit of the Japanese 1950s ones. It's very much kind of throwback to that. Whereas these Godzilla versus Kong movies are very much throwback to like the 1970s ones, where they were kind of like very far-fetched, very sci-fi, very also pseudo-spiritual stuff going on. You can see a lot of these types of movies where you have find like hidden indigenous people that worship the monsters and they sing their songs and all this other stuff. And I feel like I got that vibe from this trailer as well, where you see these indigenous people that are just kind of out there in the center of the earth that are worshiping the other ape monsters that are, I guess, anti King Kong. So
Yeah. Last thing that I'm going to be talking about before passing it over to Anthony is I'm super excited because the new season of Doctor Who is about to start coming out. Um,
which is weird.
I
There's like there was just a Christmas special, and then there already usually there's a Christmas special, and you have to wait another year, right?
yeah, usually it's such a long wait, but I am so excited because I just finished and I'm caught up. I think I finished that last week. And I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm already caught up." Like it went by so quick, but I'm so excited because this season's supposed to have some really heavy hitter actors on here.
Mhm.
I know I've talked about where Jinx Monsoon's gonna be on there.
Yeah,
Um, uh, oh, I lost his name.
and Neil Patrick Harris is going to be
Neil
on there
Patrick
too, isn't he?
Harrison's gonna
Yeah,
be on there, and they're bringing back like so. This has never happened before where they brought back a doctor. So after they, oh no, I forgot what it's called, but anyways, the
so they
doctors
did Day of the
changed.
Doctor. Yeah,
Yeah, like they changed forms and stuff, and they're actually bringing one back to play as the doctor again.
yeah,
So that'll be interesting. I'm very interested to see how they bring that about of like describe like telling us why, in a sense, you know.
yeah.
So I'm super excited. I really can't wait. So uh yeah, so that is all the info I have for now. So Anthony, what's going on around the DFW?
All right, in the DFW area, so a lot of good stuff. We're careening ever so quickly towards Christmas. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I just clicked the button.
No, I
I
can't.
didn't want to click a button. So today is December 4th, if you are listening to us right now or in the future. So when I talk about these dates that are days of the week, think of them in reference to December 4th of 2023. If you are in December 4th of 2024, sorry, it may be similar, but it's probably different. So, all right.
Yeah.
So I'm just a disclaimer. On skipping forward to this weekend, Friday, December 8th, we've got some taproom releases going on. Taproom release of Blue Magic over at False Idol Brewing. It's their New England double IPA, double dry hop with citrus strata and amarillo hops. They also have their Ghost Eye Cranberry Crumble Berliner Weiss. Turning Point's got a release of their Christmas in Paradise Imperial Tiki inspired sour ale with coconut, pineapple, passion fruit, and cranberry. That sounds very sweet.
Hmm.
Also, a big event going on this Friday at Celestial Brewing is my birthday. I'm turning 40, and I'll be there. I'll be there celebrating my birthday. Come on out. I I can't. I don't remember what time it is, but it's going to be Friday evening. I am getting old, so and I'm celebrating that. I have the very much follow the Patton Oswalt school of thought when it comes to birthdays. If it has a zero in it, I will celebrate it. If it doesn't have a zero in it, I don't celebrate it. I'll maybe get dinner. So, but this is a 0 year, once every 10 years. So I'm turning 40, getting old. I'm gonna have some beer and just ruminate on that.
Are you
So,
still gonna do your classic dinner though?
uh, Maybe not. I also have I am also running the Dallas Half Marathon, and so probably on Saturday, I'll instead of going to Carrabba's like I usually do, I'll probably go to my usual running dining option, which is also an Italian restaurant, but it's different. So I may skip the traditional because it's a 0 year. I may just skip my traditional dining
Mhm.
option and go get my running pasta. So I can go run on December the 10th
Nice.
and go run the Dallas half marathon because it's too early for me to run a marathon. So, all right, just Saturday, December 9th, got a few Santa activities starting to come up. Fort Brewery and Pizza, which I don't know if you've been there. It's pretty awesome. Good pizza, good beer. They have breakfast with Santa going on at 9 a.m. Also have where was it? There's pictures with Santa going on at Turning Point. I saw it and now I'm losing it.
Hmm.
Santa Photos Turning Point appear at noon. So if you want to do a Santa heavy day on December 9th, you can go hang with Santa at Fort Brewery, and then at 3 o'clock you can go meet with Santa again at noon. So just go place to place with Santa, get some beer, take the kiddies out, have them see Santa. Trying not to get too toasted with the kids. Also, very important activity going on this weekend. The Army Navy game. Go
Mhm.
Army, beat Navy. But got watch parties at Armor Brewing in Allen, Maple Branch Craft Brewing in Fort Worth. Go Army, beat Navy. That's all I can say about that game. It's going to be a good one to watch. Wait, is there a satellite for Celestial Beerworks?
Yes, they have a
There is.
satellite.
Where's that at?
It's pretty close to them. If I remember, I've actually never been, but I
Huh.
am hoping to go while they were there because they usually have markets and stuff there.
Yeah, they have a clothing swap and shop. Bring new clothes to swap for free, or just shop for $5 at Celestial Beerworks Satellite. I did not know that was a place. But Tops Brewing has their third annual Ugly Sweater Party with a contest and minute to win it games with vendors on Saturday as well, and on Sunday. More Santa photos going at Turning Point. Yeah, a bunch of activities for Sunday. Just kind of looking out further out there. We have our rotation has their Yippee Ki Yay beer dinner on December 13th. 12 Beers of Christmas coming up at the Bearded Monk on the 14th through the 23rd. Beer Geeks on December 15th has their Ugly Christmas Sweater Party. And then the Panther Brewing has their 9th anniversary Lardy. Yeah, and Turning Point has their Holly Jolly Santa Party on December 16th. So starting to see a lot of Santa activities going there. SantaCon is at Armor Brewing on the 21st. And then Festivus, they have a Festivus activity going on, the Ginger Man on the 23rd. Oh, and there it is. I missed it. 6th annual Festivus for the rest of us at Celestial on December 23rd. So I'm going to try to make my way out there for that. I'm taking like 2 weeks off for Christmas this year. It's going to be pretty dope. I have to burn vacation at work, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
Nice.
And that's what we have going through. So have some activities going into January if you want to do some Pitmaster barbecue classes. Those are in January. But otherwise, check out Beer and Big D for for the full list. Always keeps things up. I thought he missed Festivus. I was wrong. It is totally there. So I stand corrected. I doubted, and
never doubt.
Yeah, I shouldn't have doubted.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm not sure what events we're gonna hit up or anything like that, but I'm definitely excited. Even if we don't hit up any events, I'm just excited to get some of the local beer that I miss. So
Yes.
all right. I guess let's jump into this movie. You're ready. Are you ready?
I just noticed that there's something about lobster beer at Martin House as well. Did we talk about that earlier?
I said that they posted an image on I think Instagram or something like that where it was just like a lobster and like a pair of pants or something like that. And so I was like, what?
Okay. I missed this. This is Thursday. I'm sorry, I have to go back. Thursday at Martin House Brewing at noon. tap room release of Lobster Pie, beer brewed with chocolate, lobster, graham crackers, eggs, salt, butter, lemon, and lactose. And Cheesy Bay biscuits, beer brewed with cheese, garlic, butter, onion, salt, parsley, and Bisquick.
Ugh.
I have to get I have to find some of this and get it because I
No.
the Cheesy Bay biscuits sounds like absolutely atrocious or absolutely amazing. I don't know. The lobster,
Ugh.
I'll avoid that. It sounds like it's just gonna taste like seawater.
We're gonna be drinking some terrible beer for our Christmas episode.
Oh my goodness. Cheesy Bay biscuits. I gotta get this garlic, butter, and onion beer. This sounds like the closest thing to that terrible Thanksgiving beer.
I mean, hey, if you get it, we will try it on our Christmas episode. So that'd be
Yeah.
like 3 beers that we're gonna be drinking for that
Oh man.
episode. So it'll be a Friday night. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll keep the spittoon around there.
Um, okay, well, let's get on to the movie. So we are talking about Violent Night. Um, so if you want to do the very short synopsis,
Yeah.
then you can chat about it.
Synopsis. This is by Official Synopsis. That was a great, very official name. So let's go. When a team of mercenaries breaks into a wealthy family compound on Christmas Eve, taking everyone inside hostage, the team isn't prepared for a surprise combatant. Santa Claus is on the grounds, and he's about to show why this Nick is no saint. Ho ho ho! I have a machine gun.
Hey, that's a good beer.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, I guess that pretty much describes it. Very interesting movie. There's well, I was about to get into some dislikes, but anyways, Anthony, starts off talking about this because I don't even know where to start with this one.
So this whole thing starts with Santa at the bar, and it starts
Oh,
with
yeah.
like the gross out scene, which I feel like whenever you have like your bad Santa type movies, it always has the drunk Santa trope,
Yeah.
and it's not the first time I've seen a Santa throw up on a lady working at a bar. Particularly I feel like this is not the first time I've seen this one particular gag. But I'm just like I find myself wondering what was Santa eating? Because it looks like that wasn't cookies. So it looked pretty nasty though.
Yeah. It kind of gave off the feel of like, oh no, is it going to be one of those movies? Kind of like, I don't know. Like you said, it kind of gave off, almost felt like the movie Bad Santa kind of a
It
feel.
did, at least initially.
And so I was kind of worried. I was like, okay, maybe this isn't the type of movie because I didn't watch the trailer. I kind of avoided, like, I tried to kind of avoid doing things before watching the movie because sometimes it can kind of ruin it for me.
Yeah.
So went in blind. So kind of just seeing that and just a few things here and there, I'm like, okay, so this is going to be a lot different of a movie than I thought. And it was, but it ended up not being necessarily a bad thing. So
Yeah. Like not in a bad way. It was in a good way. I think
Yeah.
there were things they took an approach on things that I didn't anticipate, and I actually really liked. The Santa, there's like the magical, warm, all-knowing Santa. This was not that Santa. This was a Santa that was disgruntled, angry, and it seems like he's always been this way. And really kind of not happy about the fact that he's immortal and is doing this. It seems like this is a curse on him.
yeah.
Yeah, for reasons that they discuss in the movie, and we'll probably talk about it a little bit. It's in one of my things I liked about this movie. But the whole shtick is that we have this. We get introduced to Santa Claus immediately, played by David Harbour. When I saw David Harbour was going to play Santa Claus, I was like, David Harbour, the guy from Stranger Things, the guy who played
Yeah.
Hellboy in that really not great version of Hellboy. I tell you what, he did a great job as he played Santa pretty decently. I didn't think he would be the guy, but he did pretty good with it.
Yeah.
Then we had Judy Gemstone. Wait,
Yeah.
no. We had
I mean,
Alva.
Yes,
Alva-
but no.
Alva Lightstone. Sorry, different name, different person, different character, right?
Is the exact she played the exact same person.
Yeah, same exact lady, just a different multiverse, I guess.
She plays
Uh,
a really good spoiled little bitch, that's for sure.
she does. If you've seen the Righteous Gemstones, you know who we're talking about.
Mhm.
But we had get introduced to Jason, played by Alex Hassel, and then Linda, his estranged wife, played by Alexis Louder, and then Trudy, played by where's the little girl's name? Because she was really good in this too. Man, where is this little
Oh yeah,
kid's?
Trudy's barely. Where is she?
Yeah,
You'd
she's
think she'd
like
be on the top list here.
she's not in there at all. I don't see her.
Well, IMDb.
Played by a little girl,
Oh, Leah Bradley.
Leah Bradley. She was really good too. So hopefully she doesn't succumb to the thing that all little child actors succumb to, and she carried Troopers on through because she was really good in this. I think she's got some chops. Um,
She's
but
been in 4 things, so
yeah.
she's doing something.
But we see them basically setting up. They're going to the family thing. Turns out the family's super like uber rich. Run into the sister and her boy toy and and Bertrude, the nephew, and we're getting the vibes that like things are not all as cool as they seem. Uh, and it just kind of goes from there. We see John Leguizamo coming down as like the main bad guy, which I thought he did a pretty good job of that. He comes across as like the guy who's like darkly cynical about stuff,
Mhm.
which I think he just carries that energy from not being able to play Luigi in the new Super Mario movie, and just projects that on to this movie, and just like is just like angsty about Christmas because he's angsty about not being able to play Luigi in the Super Mario Brothers movie like he
Yeah.
did back in the 90s. So, basically, we get the straight up hostage situation. Santa Claus happens to be just chilling in the massage chair, and then it just goes from there. We learned some cool stuff about Santa Claus, which I went and actually looked to see if any of that was like at least somewhat legit. Some of the Norse mythology stuff is some stuff about Santa being somewhat loosely based on Odin, or at least the legend of Santa Claus. So there's some Viking, Nordic
Cool.
relation there, and not so much about the warrior stuff. But we see Santa. I feel like they could have called this movie how Santa got his groove back a little bit, because I feel like that's
Santa's
plot
new
in this movie.
groove. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like or Santa gets hammered.
Yeah.
That's another one too.
Yeah.
But we see Santa Claus just come and beat some ass. And we also see some Home Alone style hijinks, which they directly reference. This is like if Home Alone was accurate, and Kevin just like straight up murdered these guys. We
Yeah.
see that too. That was like my favorite part of this movie.
The gory side of Home
yeah.
Alone. Yeah.
Yeah, that was some awful shit, but it was pretty dope. So everything ends happily. Of course, we get there circuitously. There's like a money heist. There's Santa Claus. There's like brutal violence. Everything you need in a fun, Die Hard style Christmas movie featuring Santa Claus. This is like Die Hard, but with Santa Claus.
I absolutely. Honestly, I feel like everything you described, I completely agree with.
Yeah.
um, it was interesting. I do like getting the background more of Santa, and the whole. I love that so many times things would get said where they're like, "Oh, can you do this?" He goes, "I don't know how this stuff works." He's always just like, "I don't know how this magic shit works."
He's like, I don't know. It's like how Christmas magic works.
Yeah, it's just like it kind of just shows that he's pretty much just thrown into this, and it's it is what it is, kind of thing.
It's like he openly admits, I was like, I've been doing this for 1,100 years. I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
it just works.
So I don't know. It definitely surprised me. I feel like I can definitely say that this movie did. But at the same time, it did feel like what's the something exports?
Oh, rare exports.
Rare exports. It kind of had that same feel to me. Just the attitude of Santa.
Uh,
They kind of matched up in my mind. I don't know. I got that feeling at least. I think that it was that movie. No, no, no,
are you thinking
no.
about the one? Are you thinking about the one with Mel Gibson?
Yes, that one.
Fat Man,
Fat Man. Yes.
featuring
Yes.
another alumnus from Righteous Gemstones, Walter Goggins.
So yes, the Fat Man and this one, the Santa get has the same feel in my mind.
Yeah,
Uh, and
very
and I like it.
disillusioned. Yeah,
Yeah, and I like it because there's not many movies like that where Santa is just like a deadbeat, like just doesn't give a shit about anybody
yeah.
really. Like,
Well, he's like, this is gonna be the last Christmas. Fuck these kids.
yeah, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, like go Santa, like stick up for
Yeah,
yourself kind of thing. Um, so I kind of liked that we kind of got that feel because at first I was like, I feel like I've seen this before. But besides the beginning of feeling like, oh no, we're about to see like Bad Santa number 3 or 10 or whatever we're on now.
mhm,
Um, and then going into like a bunch of like killing shit, where you're like, okay, is this Fat Man then? Like,
yeah.
um,
This Santa doesn't use guns.
he does not. He doesn't
He
know
does not
how.
even understand how guns work.
Yeah,
Which I
yeah,
was surprised. I expected him to see. I was like expecting to see him pick up a gun and kind of go die hard on these guys, and he like specifically does not pick up a gun. And so I was like, I was like, okay, it'll be really cool if he just doesn't go for a gun at all. And I saw him pick up a gun towards the end of the movie, and that's when he's like, "Do you guys know how these things work?" And he gives it to the wife,
hmm
uh, and then she's like taking pot shots at the mercenaries with the rifle, and I was like, that's dope that you put like the power in her hands while
yeah.
he goes off and does the ambush attack. I thought that was pretty cool.
The Skull Crusher.
Yeah, with the skull crusher.
Um, all right, so let's get into the likes and dislikes. Unless there's anything else that you want to touch on before we get there.
Let's get into it.
All right. Uh, let's start with the likes, which to me there's quite a bit. Um, I really liked Santa. So like I can go into I like that they, did the background, all this, all that. But um the way David Harbour played Santa was perfect. I
Hmm.
mean, I literally don't have any complaints. Just his acting in this was absolutely amazing. Um,
Yeah, you can feel that he's like tired throughout
yeah,
all of this. He's like tired. He's over that. He's over this. He's been doing this for thousands of years. He's just like over it.
yeah.
But he hasn't seen it. But he also has like he also comes across as inexperienced, which I do find odd. So for somebody who's been doing this for over 1,000 years, you'd think he'd like been there, done that on stuff like this, particularly like having done this back during like the Middle Ages. You know?
I mean, yes and no in the sense of like he gets in, he drops off the presents, he leaves.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't give a shit this time around. That's why he like hangs out in these houses. Like he falls asleep in a massage chair. That's why he gets
Yeah.
caught in this situation. Um, I don't know. Just generally was just very, very happy with the Santa.
Yeah.
Um, I loved the mix of kind of the comedy, the silliness of just every Christmas movie. Like I feel like it kind of had everything you typically get out of a Christmas movie, but gory.
Yeah.
but but lots of
But not
violence.
like overly gory. It's
No.
just more like action movie violent, like an extra violent action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I really really enjoyed that. Of just like you get the Christmas feelings and all that kind of stuff, and then he starts beating people with a hammer, kind of shit. And it's
yeah,
just like it's crazy, but it's kind of like a nice twist. of this movie. So I guess that's where I'll go with my one like, because I really do feel like I could go quite a while about things that I liked about this.
But
So
and like the whole and his whole like Viking backstory, and that's the reason why he's able to fight. And like once he remembers, I mean, he never, I don't think he ever forgot, but he like kind of like remembers that he's a war. He like reminds himself that he is a Viking warrior, even though he
yeah,
hasn't done that in thousands of years. He does have these skills.
yeah. So what's your like, Anthony?
So mentioned it already, but my favorite part of the movie was the bit where Trudy. You think that Trudy? They said this whole thing where Trudy goes and hides in the attic from the mercenaries, from uh, Candy Cane, and from I think it's Kringle or whatever.
Sure.
Two
Yeah.
two of the ones who were working in the house prior to the takeover. Uh, they both go up there. They both figure out where the girl is, and she does a whole thing where she asks Santa if she should set up like some Home Alone style traps. And he's like, yeah, sure. And you kind of think that's it. Like, she's not really going to do anything, or she's going to do something stupid and get caught, and then Santa has to go rescue her, because that's where that typically goes in these movies. So you think, oh, she's going to do something dumb. She's going to get caught.
I do love that whenever she says that, should I do Home Alone style traps? He goes, sure. I have no idea what that means, but yes.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like, yeah, go. He's very much like, go for it. I think it's specifically because he has no clue what the hell she's talking about.
Yeah.
But she sets up these traps, and they do the whole thing where they're like, yeah, if you're gonna set up traps, you need to make it so like we can't see where they're at. And so I was like, she's like a master. She's like, go watch this movie once for the first time. We learned the night before this whole thing happens, and she's like got the Kevin McAllister playbook down. She does the trap. She saw like, how did they not hear her sawing the ladder into the attic? Because she like put the nail in the thing. She cut it. They break the step. I'm going. I have nightmares about breaking the ladder, my ladder into my attic whenever I
Me
do that.
too.
So that was like every time I go up for Christmas lights to set up stuff for the Christmas this year, I go up and down that attic ladder so many times. So I see that and I like wince when they break the step on the ladder, and particularly when the nail goes through the guy's bottom of the guy's throat,
Yeah.
or through his bottom of his mouth, and then. Uh, and then he falls down off of there and he falls onto the nails. And it's like, kick that stuff out of the way before you start climbing up there. Like, do something. Come on.
Yeah.
And then the nonsense bowling balls. I see it hit Candy Cane, and then like as soon as she like starts batting those away, or she starts like dodging them, the guy down there in the ladder is going to get hit with the bowling balls, and it's gonna like, because he falls backwards, his ass falls on all the screws and spikes and everything, and he's going to fall backwards, and like does it hit him in the head or something, and he gets
Yeah.
like stabbed in the head with the screws. Yeah, so she like that little girl straight up kills a dude with her traps.
Yeah.
And do you think Candy Cane's gonna go take Trudy out? And he starts doing like a silly little attack, and then she freaking slingshots the barbell or the dumbbell or whatever at Candy Cane, and just like takes her out. And then just when you think Trudy's done for, Santa comes in with the hammer and just like takes Candy Cane out and saves the day. So Santa still has to rescue, but Trudy held her own pretty damn well, I will say. And that was like the most surprising part of the movie for me, because I didn't think that we would get that bloody homage to Home Alone like we did. So I was like laughing my ass off at that part of the movie. It was my favorite part. So Trudy, I mean, Santa's gets like honorable mention, but Trudy, MVP. She like killed it.
Yeah. So let's talk about, I guess, the dislikes. So I don't know. The one thing I would say that I did not like was the ending of this movie. I thought a really good ending to this movie is Santa actually dies.
Uh-huh.
I thought that is like the perfect ending to this kind of movie. So I was pretty, I don't know, kind of annoyed because it was the typical, oh, everybody believes in Santa now, so it brings them back to life kind of stuff. I'm like, "Ugh, okay, I don't
Yeah,
know.
Santa lives by Tinkerbell rules.
Yeah,
You gotta clap so he's alive. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
pull a Nelly from the
Yeah.
office. Yeah. Uh, so I don't know. I feel like that's the only moment where I was just like, I don't like that they did that.
Oh,
I don't know
particularly
why.
because like he seems like he's like totally cool with like not being alive anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he he decided, you know what? I'm gonna save this family. Like, I feel like he had the energy to finally like pull himself out, and it was like such an honorable death, especially to a Viking.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the perfect death. You
Yeah.
saved a ton of people, like a lot of people
Yeah, and
from
he
this
died in
crazy
battle.
group,
Yeah.
and then they kind of rip that away from him because they're like, now we believe in you, and he's like, fuck, now I have to get back to work. Like, shit.
Like, and now I have to finish saving Christmas.
Yeah, like,
Jesus. Yeah.
so I don't know. To me, that really, I don't know, it just hit me wrong. I was like, "Ugh, come on." So, anyways,
Well,
what about you?
I don't know. I don't know if you know this, but they did announce that they're doing a Violent Night 2, so they gotta do that sequel.
Yeah, maybe he'll actually die this time.
Oh no! As soon as long as they can beat, as long as they can milk this cow, they're gonna keep him around as long as possible.
Well, I wondered if it was going to be like the Tim Allen Christmas movies
Oh, like one of
eerie.
them becomes Santa.
Yeah, if he dies, then it goes on to the next person kind of thing. I was just like, that would be kind of, I would watch that. I would see the second one to see how that dad starts killing off people and shit too. Or
So,
big plot twist, it goes to the girl. It goes to the little girl. So but
oh man,
anyways,
and I'm gonna join you on that. The ending was kind of like, particularly the whole thing with the money as well. Just before that part there, because the money was kind of like out there as the motivation for the reason this is all happening, but it was never really all that important because the focus was never on the money. And the why the thieves were there, became more about Santa Claus and him kind of like learning that he is able to defend the innocent-ish. Uh,
yeah.
because
Ish.
some of these people are war profiteers. The good guys are war profiteers. So and a guy who's stealing from his family. So like even the good guys aren't all that innocent in the situation. So we never learned too much about John Leguizamo except that he's on the naughty list. So we don't know if he's got reasons why he wants to steal from his family. That may be something that was cut, and because it wasn't all that important to the plot at the end. But I will say the one thing I did like about the ending is how he ends up killing John Leguizamo's character Scrooge by sucking him up the chimney and
Yeah.
basically ripping his legs and his head off.
Yeah. I did like that too.
That was rough. That was a rough death because Scrooge was kicking his ass. Like I think Santa's learned his lesson. He needs to wear ice spikes if he's going to go fighting on the ice.
Yeah.
But that doing the thing where he tweaked his nose and sucked him up the chimney, that was rough. So,
Yeah, that was a good part.
yeah.
All right. So we are on Letterbox, which is a movie rating app. You can follow us there at Let's Do a Podcast. So, Anthony, how would you rate this movie from 1 to 5?
I rate this movie 4 Christmas trees out of 5.
I'm right there with you too.
Yeah, this was
Would
good.
would you put this in the like category that you did like this movie? Because there's an option for that. We don't really hit that like button very often.
Yeah, it's rare as I'll give a movie its due, but not often do I like a movie. This movie I
Yeah.
liked. I actually enjoyed this movie.
I agree.
It kind of subverts the traditional Coca-Cola Santa Claus. It's not our warm and cuddly Santa Claus sneaking into your house drinking all your Coca-Cola. This is a hard charging, hard drinking Viking Santa Claus I'm actually looking forward to what they do with a sequel, which it may be coming. It's either coming out. It's probably coming out either next year or in 2025. So we'll see what happens with the actor strikes, probably delaying things a little bit. So
So right now we have rare exports in our top four because you can do top four movies. Would this replace, do you think, rare exports, or do you think still rare exports is above that?
I still think rare exports is like above this one because
Yeah.
the rare exports is such a unique take on the Legend of Santa and
Yeah.
Krampus and all that stuff. Yeah.
I completely agree. Um, it's actually been a while since we had looked at my top four, which I'll just mention. It's we have Snowpiercer, Killer Sofa, Deathgasm, and Rare Exports. I still think that's a solid top four.
It is.
So yeah, I mean, again, I think this is even the first time that I mentioned that there's a like button on Letterbox because truly, I don't remember the last time I actually liked a movie to
Right.
give it that. So all right. Well, I completely agree with what you say rating wise, and I think because I went with low expectations, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I would watch it again for sure.
Yeah, I would too. I think it may put this in my regular Christmas rotation.
I don't know
We
if
shall
the
we shall see if I remember.
Yeah, I don't know if my wife would watch it, but it is a good one.
I still
Uh,
need to, I still probably need to go back and watch Fat Man again because I do want to watch that again. And then my other one, I don't think we've done that for this sort of the podcast, but my one of my other favorite weird Christmas movies is Krampus with Adam Scott. I do enjoy that movie. Adam Scott and David Ketchner. That's a funny one. It's like very much Drag Me to Hell energy,
mm,
uh, and then everybody's like basically punished at the end. So
yeah, I feel like I've seen Krampus. I don't know though.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I've talked about that one.
Yeah. But anyways, if you guys watch this movie, let us know what you thought. We'd definitely like to know if you guys liked it, disliked it, or what's wrong with you. And if you have suggestions for our Christmas movie, feel free to throw them in there. If not, then we'll just pick something that we find like we usually do. So
Yeah.
with that said, let's talk about our beer. So I finished mine. Are you done with yours, Anthony?
I'm almost done.
Okay.
I'm getting to the bottom here.
So I'll finish up mine. Uh, I think the reason I ended up really enjoying this beer was because opening it, smelling it, looking at it, I was thinking, man, this is gonna be such a heavy beer. Like I was kind of worried that I'd be like, oh, just trying to get it down. Um, it was surprisingly such a light beer. For a dark ale. It felt very light, very tasty. Like I'm excited because I know that we're definitely gonna go back to this Blockbuster, and I'll end up probably buying a pack of it. Um, so it's very good. I think I would give it. I think I would give it a 3.5. I'm
Nice.
very picky on ales because since pretty much moving up here, they love ales up here. Um, so I've had some amazing ales. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of like opened my mind up more to ales, I think, because I've definitely been more of IPAs and stouts, and ales really aren't something that I really got into. Um, but there's also a place called Monk Liss that is like known for their ales. So we went there, and oh man, some of the best stuff I've ever had. Um, so yes, so I'm gonna do about a 3.5 for this guy. So Anthony, what do you rate and think about your beer?
I will rate this beer one. Come out to the coast. We'll get together. We'll have a few
Hmm.
laughs. One. Now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho. And one. Number 4. I give this one 4 stars, 4 points, 4 things out of 5. This is a good beer.
Nice.
It reminded me actually of some of the IPAs they have at Celestial, with the kind of like this tartness, the sweetness, and with the haziness. Um, Now, like I've seen some great IPAs come out of Turning Point. Not Martin House isn't really known for their IPAs. They've had some good IPAs. Don't get me
Yep.
wrong, but never like great IPAs. I feel like this is a great IPA, and so the collab between because Martin House can do flavor really well. But I just never feel like they've gotten the IPA stuff like fully down. So like some of their flavor profiles from Martin House with some of the IPA work from Turning Point, I think it's a great team there. Made a good collab. So yeah, the Welcome to the Party, Pal. I recommend it. 4 out of 10. It's good stuff.
And just a quick correction: 4 out of 5, not 10, for the people listening.
4 out of 5. Yeah, not 10.
um,
It's an 80%, not a 40%.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's a really good rating coming from you. So I'm very interested to try that guy. Um,
Yep, I got 3 more, so I'll save you some.
Great. All right, so let's talk about our thing of the week. Do you have something ready, or should I go?
You go ahead because
All right,
I forgot.
that's fine. This will require some help from you as well. So I decided, mainly encouraged from my Spotify wrap up of the year, that I'm gonna change things up for this next year. So I posted on my personal social medias, and every month I'm going to listen to one or maybe two, depending how many suggestions I get, artists a month that are random. So I'm getting suggestions from everybody. So I have such a interesting, crazy list so far, and I need one more month worth of an artist. So, Anthony, what's an artist that I should put on my December list?
Are we talking? Are we talking just
Anything.
one artist?
You can do two. Somebody suggested like four, so I put them on there. But I'm just like,
All right.
it just means it's gonna be broken up. But
So
so
I'll give you two.
okay,
Since this is going to be December of 2024, this is going to be good fall fall and winter vibes.
hmm
So the first one, I'm going to see these guys in concert next year. Just got the tickets to go see them because they're coming to Fort Worth. First one is Haken, Haken. They're a prog rock, progressive rock band out of England, and they have some like great sounds that are like great for like fall and winter, and just like they get the epic sounds that winter really deserves,
mm.
and the end of fall. And the other one is a black metal outfit out of Scandinavia called Opeth. That is like some epic end of year music. Uh, when you get there, remind me. And I got a great first one for you to go into with for Opeth, and it's just like some epic music coming from those guys. So yeah, my first one is Haken, and the second one is Opeth.
Okay.
Those would be my two recommendations for end of year 2024 music there.
There we go. So I have my list of for next year. So I might share in our Let's Do a Podcast Facebook kind of what I'm listening to, how I'm feeling it. And I did figure like the the episode. So like for January, listening to everything. Come February, our first episode, I'll talk about my thoughts on the last artist and how I'm feeling and everything. I thought it'd be kind of fun thing to do podcast wise
Yeah.
and also personal wise. Like I want to branch out more because I mean I love the music that I listen to normally, but like I want to listen to stuff I've never listened to before. So here's a way to do it. It's gonna be a little rough one of the months because it's only one artist and it's a country artist. So I'm just like, you know what?
Ooh.
I'm not gonna knock it. Like it's hard because I'm not a country person at all, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Who knows? At the end of the month, I'll be like, you know what? Okay, I can appreciate country now. Because I can't right now. So yeah, that's my thing of next year / this week of Just got that inspiration. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So
It's like for February, it should be music inspired by the works of Nicolas Cage.
yes. Oh my god. I should put on his band for the whole month. But
Oh, there you go. I forgot he has a band.
yeah, February it's Mount Joy. Never heard of them, so we'll see. I do have Andre 3000, which I'm kind of excited about because I've never actually sat down and listened to a bunch of his stuff. So
His newest album is pretty dope, but there are
sure.
no bars in that music. There is no vocals. It's just all flute.
Nice.
It's good. It's just different from everything else.
Yeah.
So you got some variation going on there in the music. You got a lot of your classic Andre 3000 stuff, and then you got a flute album.
Yeah. That's what I'm excited about is like I get to hear all different versions because like really I'm just gonna put on the artist and shuffle it. So it's gonna be all the albums, all music that they've put out. And so I'm just like, I'm gonna hear their worst stuff and some of their best stuff. And I feel like I'll get a good, hopefully get a little bit more musical educated. Because I used to be really, really like deep into music. Like
Mhm.
that was my life forever. And then I don't know. It just kind of dropped it, but I still love music so much. So I figure this is a good way to kind of push myself to get back into it. So anyway, so that's mine. Anthony, hopefully you have something for us.
So I was gonna go look at my. So I was also gonna look at music too. So I'm a big believer. As I mentioned, my birthday is in December, and I'm a big believer in delaying Christmas as much as possible until after my birthday's been celebrated. If there's one way I do celebrate my birthday, it's that I push back Christmas as hard as possible. And one of the things one of the ways I do that is I do try to not listen to Christmas music until after my birthday. So I won't be listening to any Christmas music until this coming week. Once I do that, I start listening to Christmas music pretty much nonstop for about 2 weeks. My birthday is about 2 weeks. Is about 2 weeks prior to Christmas, so I have a 2 week period where I'll actually listen to Christmas music, and then as soon as Christmas hits, it's over. And I listen to normal music again, and the insanity is ended. But the thing that drives my wife crazy probably is that I listen to the weirdest ass Christmas music I can find. I listen to like, uh, I, just to describe my musical taste when it comes to Christmas, like Weird Al Christmas music. The Night Santa Went Crazy, Christmas at Ground Zero are like just two of my favorite Christmas songs right there. I'm trying to find the Christmas list I had from last year, but I think every year I delete my Christmas music so I don't tempt myself into listening to Christmas music throughout the year. So I'm gonna have to find my Christmas music list again. Um,
So
yeah.
I want to make a request for one of the nights that we're there since we're staying with you guys. We need to put on the RuPaul Christmas album.
Oh yes.
It is so wild. It's kind of fun. I did it. I put it on one year whenever we went to my family's house because every once in a while they're like, "Okay, you know what kind of Christmas music?" I was like, "I got it. I got it. Don't worry, everybody." And very quickly they're like, "Okay, let's put something else on." I'm like, "Dang." So while we're there, we'll have to put that on.
Yeah, there was a Christmas music. There was a Christmas song I came across on this weird Christmas playlist I found on Apple last year, and it was like it was. So the song was released. It was like a some kind of pop song. It was. I thought it sounded. It sounded to me like it was Ariana Grande, or at least an Ariana Grande type, and it was very much a sexy Christmas song, but it was like a weirdly sexy, like overtly sexy Christmas. And I was like, this is like so overtly Christmas, sexy Christmas song that this is just like goes into the weird category. And I enjoyed the hell out of it because it was just like way over the line of like, not like, oh, grotesquely sexy, but like just like uncomfortably sexy.
Yeah.
So it was just like a fun song in the way it was like very in the way it referenced things. And so again, I just love weird Christmas music. I love weird Christmas movies. So as soon as my birthday festivities have ended, I will then be listening to Christmas music, and I'll be listening to my Christmas music, which is weird Christmas music. So looking forward to it. Cranking into, and this is like the one time of the year where I allow myself to listen to Weird Al as well. So I'm excited for it. I'll probably get some other Weird Al music in there too. So
Yeah, that's the way to do it because I don't like Christmas music. I'm okay with Christmas music the week of Christmas.
uh-huh.
But besides that, I can't handle it. But I think it's because working in the um hospitality business, it starts usually before Thanksgiving is even here.
Right.
So it's just exhausting. So that's why I'm like, I'm pretty strict on it, but I feel like it's been a while since I've worked in the industry. So it's just like I'm getting a little bit easier with it here and there. But um
Yeah, oh, I finally found the playlist. I gotta put on my list. It's on, at least on Apple. If you have Apple and not Spotify, it's a holiday novelty songs
mm,
playlist. Um, I do gotta say my favorite Christmas song is the one they did on Saturday Night Live, where it's like, "I don't care what the people say, Christmas time is here." And they're playing like the sharper image, little tiny guitar. It's Horatio Sands and a bunch of the other guys do it. So
I bet I've seen it.
it's a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go through, watch the Saturday Night Live Christmas sketch episode. It'll be in there.
Yeah.
Horatio Sands and Jimmy Fallon and Chris Kattan and Tracy Morgan. They're
Oh,
all in it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it.
So, all right, everybody, there is our things of the week. So, let's see. So, I think it's like the 15th. We'll probably be recording again. I will update everybody exactly when it will be. If you have movie suggestions, a Christmas movie, of course, suggestion, let us know. We'll watch it. If not, of course, we'll pick whatever. Um, and we're coming into the new year and everything. So, any movie suggestions for this next year that you'd like us to watch? Really,
Yeah.
we're down. Um,
And Nick Cage month, Cage Fest 2024 is coming your way sooner than you think. It's in February.
yes.
Get thinking, if there's a Nick Cage movie we haven't done yet and you want us to do it, if you want us to take a look at it, let us know. Because
Yes.
it is coming sooner than you think. There have been so many Nick Cage movies coming out this past year that we are never going to run out of Nicolas Cage movies at this rate.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk. We probably won't do the whole month like we've done a few times. We'll probably just do
Mhm.
like 3, maybe something like that. I know I like to do a few extra because it's such a big month for us here at Let's
Yeah.
Do a Podcast. So, but yeah, follow us on Facebook at Let's Do a Podcast, and we are also on YouTube at Let's Do a Podcast 22. Twitch is Let's Twitch a Podcast. Letterboxd is Let's Do a Podcast. Untapped is Let's Do a Podcast. Anywhere that you listen to podcasts, we should be there. If for some reason we're not and you're listening to this somewhere else, let us know. I'll put us there.
Also, how are you listening to us? We're not there.
Yeah, you must be
Yeah.
watching us. I feel like I'm missing something, but I guess not. So, anyways, thanks
If it
everybody.
was important, we would have remembered.
Yeah, fuck it. So see you guys in like a week ish. Week or
2
two?
weeks?
2 weeks? I don't know. My
10
time's
days.
off.
Yeah, 11 days.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in about 2 weeks live together. Me and Anthony drinking strange beers. So, anyways,
Yes.
let's end a podcast.